All right, this week on the Fiddleback News Show, I'd like to start out by expressing our concern and condolences and sending our prayers to the people in Orlando. And we're just as torn up as everybody about this thing, and wish everybody the best. And hopefully America can get by this kind of stuff. Second up on the Fiddleback News Show, I'm distracted by my own high-tech microphone here. But second up on the Fiddleback News Show, what we're going to do is talk about Blade Show. We had yet another amazing year at Blade Show. It was fun. It was profitable. We got to hang out with customers that we've never met before and hang out with customers that we've met several times now, and we're fast friends. You can't beat that experience for us, the craftsmen, the actual one-on-one with the customer and the forum member that we don't get to meet. So it's rare and it's wonderful, and we appreciate it. We sold a lot of knives. We had a whole lot of fun in the pit on the evenings. I even got David to have a drink this time. It was wonderful. And we also had an excellent dinner at Fogo with too many people to sit down at one table together. But we still had an excellent time. I got to see, all of y'all, and that's the highlight of the week for me. And we really, really enjoyed it. This week's question is about the Work Sharp grinder. And it's not so much as a question as me making a statement. We've had several knives in the last couple of months come back that have been mangled to death on a Work Sharp. Or some other belt grinder, but to me the damage looks like a Work Sharp. We have a Work Sharp here at Fiddleback Forge, and I've forbidden anybody to touch it to a knife. I just want you to know. It may be a good system. It may do well with scissors and kitchen knives that are cheap and everything else, but to me, your handmade knives deserve a little of your time and your elbow grease to keep sharp. And a Work Sharp not only is going to scratch the blade, but it's also a running belt grinder, and so it does have the ability to burn the edges off your knives and to take steel off that can't be put back on. As a stock removal knife maker, I don't have the power to put the steel back on the knife. So don't mangle your Fiddleback knives with the Work Sharp. Just to be totally clear, Work Sharp as a belt, a motorized tool on the bevels of your knives voids the warranty. Just to be clear. I will not be fixing knives that have been mangled on a machine, because then that knife goes out in as new condition and is sold, and I have no idea if the edge is still at the heat treat that we sold the knife originally. So don't use motorized tools on your knife. If you really can't sharpen your knife, send it back. We do that much with no charge at all. If we have to regrind the bevels or do any sort of heavy warranty work, then we start at $50 and we go from there. But for resharpening, I almost never charge anybody. We don't get a lot of them in. That's probably because I discourage it quite a bit, but I don't want to discourage it to the point that the Work Sharp is your go-to thing, because it really can mangle a knife. We see a lot of chatter marks where it's just not being smoothly drawn across it. We see a lot of flat spots on the bevels where they pushed too hard and it contacted the part of the grinder behind the belt and flattened a spot on your convex. For me to reconvex that requires a lot of steel left on the knife, and I grind my edges thin in the first place, so there's not that kind of real estate for you to start flattening the bevels and me reconvexing them. That's just not doable, and I won't work on those knives because I don't want them sold to y'all as new condition. So be careful with your Work Sharp. And then finally, today's survival tip of the week is to beware of the know-it-all survival guy. It's very popular. Survival's super popular right now. And so you have to be very wary of the know-it-all survival guy. And if you're in a survival situation with a group of people and there's a know-it-all guy, just keep your distance. Pretty soon, he'll kill himself off. You can harvest all his gear and then move on and try to survive without this guy endangering the whole party again and again and again. So watch out for that guy. Just like in any other situation, the know-it-all guy is not the guy that you want to be blindly following. So just be careful with that know-it-all guy, and you'll be much more likely to make it out of your survival issue. And thank you for watching the Fiddleback News Show. I'm like Bob Barker. You notice his microphone got smaller and smaller over the years. That's me.
Get you a little stick to put that mic on the end of.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a microphone on a stick. You've heard of a jalapeno on a stick. Who don't like that? Now I got my microphone on a stick. Bob Barker style.